Hey Dragon Slayers, today's video is about eating to keep insulin low, prioritizing protein. Avoid the temptation to eat too little protein. One concern as people adopt a low carbohydrate, high fat diet is that they excessively shorten their protein, such as meat or eggs. While certain amino acids, the parts of the dietary protein that flow in the blood, can cause an insulin release, the degree to which this occurs depends heavily on the amount of glucose in the blood. Whether the person is ingesting carbohydrate with the protein or has underlying elevated blood glucose, also known as hyperglycemia. If carbohydrate consumption and blood glucose are low, there will be little or no insulin response to dietary protein. In contrast, if carbohydrate consumption is high and blood glucose is elevated, there will be a substantial insulin response to protein. To optimize muscle and bone growth, as well as recovery from exercise, aim to get 1 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Critically, if you're older, you need to be on the higher end of this range. We become progressively less capable of changing dietary protein into muscle as we age. As stated earlier, eating to control insulin can be achieved in many ways, including via an omnivore, vegetarian, and even a vegan lifestyle. However, simply due to the relative absence of insulin-spiking starches, eating animal products makes it much easier to control insulin. If you're a vegetarian, you can still follow a smart insulin-sensitizing nutrition plan. You'll need to search harder to find less starchy and higher fat menu choices, but they're out there. Avoid the temptation to consume too many seed oils. You're going to want to stick with fats from olive oils, avocados, and coconuts. And if allowed in your diet, animal fats from non-meat dairy sources. Sorry, non-meat sources such as dairy and eggs. If you do eat meat, you're going to want to make an effort to obtain all of your meat, dairy, and eggs from sources as close to home as possible. Where possible, ensure the animals have been pasture raised and allowed to eat their natural diet. Cows eat grass, not grain. While there isn't much evidence to support the idea that free range meat or eggs are better for health, it's certainly a more ethical and sustainable approach. I suspect you'll be surprised what's available in your area if you take some time to research. The same can be said for those following a plant based diet. Buying locally and avoiding farms that operate monocropping can help you be more confident that your purchases support a sustainable system. Be careful with cured meats, including sausages and especially jerky. These very often include significant amounts of sugar, and don't shy away from fatty meats and fish, including lamb and salmon. Certain dairy products can be surprisingly high in milk sugars or lactose. Milk is a perfect example. It is high in all three macronutrients: protein, fat, and carbohydrates, making it an ideal food to help a baby grow, which is why mammals make milk. To focus on good dairy sources that avoid spiking insulin, determine how fermented they've been. As with all other fermented foods, we've allowed bacteria to do some of the work for us. Bacteria eat glucose, leaving the fat and the protein behind for us to enjoy. Some important examples of some important examples are cheese and yogurt. Of course, other ideal dairy sources have had the protein and carbohydrates removed, such as cream and mayonnaise. Avoid skim milk. Many consider calcium to be the hero of milk, but maybe it's the fat. If you're looking to lose weight, don't shy away from dairy fat. Several studies, including a 12-year follow up study in men, as well as a prospective study in children, revealed that consumption of whole milk is associated with less risk of being obese or developing obesity compared with the consumption of fat reduced milk. Moreover, very recent analyses suggest that whole fat dairy reduces the risk of diabetes compared to low fat dairy. So, that's what I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. And remember, guys, that together, you and I will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.